episode.
First episode.
First episode, kicking it with Ken, my brother.
I
got my special guest, Joe Cole, not your average Joe, my brother Jonah Kobe. You know I ain't never done nothing like this. This is my first time doing something like this, a podcast, and I wanted to do it called Kicking It With Ken, because you know most people kick it with me for the most part, and they only see the turn up side.
Yeah,
but
sure.
you know, I think it was time to give people a more serious side, show them the business state of mind that I got, something that I hope to grow from just as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Also to, you know, get people perspective on life and things that I can do better that will help me grow. You know, you as my big brother, and you done always guided me. Shoot, since the day I met you, you always had a sound and stable mindset.
Right. That's love. That's love.
Yeah, to stay focused, and you always then kept me on track, kept me, you know, you always give me that perspective that I may not even think of outside of my own, you know. A lot of times I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but then I may come to you and you may have a better idea.
Right.
I want to start out by asking you, you know, what made you the person you are today as far as maturity-wise? Like what made you grow so into this man that was able to give great advice, give a great outlook on business, on life? You know, let me know, let the people know.
I mean, yeah, so first of all, excuse my voice, you know, we was a little lit
last night for the birthday, you know, the birthday weekend.
So. I'll drop in and everything right now, but no, man, I appreciate what you're doing, and like you said, I mean, it's always good to hear that people have a good perspective of you. But I think to answer your question, man, honestly, it's just life and experiences. Experience is the best teacher. Having such a great mother, it was also a rough patch in my life when she passed away when I was 17.
Right, I remember that.
So, you know, 3 weeks before high school graduation, my big brother, Jacob, shout out to him.
Shout out to Big Jake.
He was actually in California at basic training. And then my sister was going to UAPB at the time, so I'm the baby of the group, of course. But you know, it was just me and mom's at home. But we had a special relationship, and she passed instantly. So you know what I mean? 17, losing your mom, especially a mother like mine. You know, somebody who was a virtuous woman. Look that up in the Bible if you don't know what that means. But
man of God.
That's right. But it was rough, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, 3 weeks from high school graduation, that's a transition period.
Yeah, you still a kid at that point.
Oh yeah, you still a kid, but you're starting to make decisions about how you gonna set the rest of your life up. For sure. And you know what I mean? So losing her at that moment, it was like, one, a wake-up call, two, it was a tragedy.
For sure.
And then three, it really just had my head scrambled. I had to change up a lot of my college plans. I wanted to go out of state to go to college, couldn't do that anymore. I was having to figure out a lot of stuff on my own. But at the same time, like I said, experience is the best teacher. So, you know, it really just had my mind and my eyes open. Like, how am I gonna really take care of myself from this point? What am I gonna do to set myself up, not only to make her proud, but to make myself proud and make myself successful?
For sure.
She had told me about the surgical technology program because she had a teacher she worked with whose husband did it. And at the moment, I was like, that don't sound like anything I really want to do.
Most of the time, your parents, they tell you something, you be like, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. What is that?
That makes sense.
But it was interesting because she said it would just be something that you could have on your belt, that you could fall back on. She's like, the program's not that long. I looked into it, but just, you know, think about it. And she told me that literally probably months before she passed away. So then I started working as a surgical tech in Conway, Arkansas. Worked at 2 different hospitals. That was a crazy job, man. But I loved it, I enjoyed it. And basically, if anybody doesn't know, surgical technologists, they basically set up the operating room for surgeries. And they also pass the instrumentation to the surgeon throughout the surgery. Thanks. I mean, it's a long scope of stuff that they do, but that job, man, honestly, it had me dealing with a lot of different shit. You know what I mean? And I was exposed to different shit in the workplace. As I was working that job, it was interesting because I'm always the type, I'm paying attention to what's going on, you know what I mean? My bad. the turn up last night was real.
Yeah, it was lit situation.
But no, it was interesting because I'm always paying attention to the room. So in the surgical suite, like when they're having surgery, you got the CRNA who's doing anesthesia,
Right.
making 6 figures easy.
Vocals.
You got the doctor, of course, making 6 figures.
Vocal.
Then you got the RN who's the circulating nurse. You know, they making great money, you know what I mean? Probably pulling in 60, 70 a year.
Yup, easy.
And then I noticed I'm the scrub tech, you know what I mean? I'm the least paid in the room, but I'm working the hardest, you know what I mean? So I started paying attention, and I noticed that like we had different people coming in the room to help us set up new equipment, and they're called like a medical device rep. So, you know, I started getting interested. I'm like, I mean, I teach anyway, you know what I mean? I teach other scrubs to, you know, people coming in. I was like, I could do that too, you know what I mean? So I started just talking to a few of them and just getting the scope of things. And then I started realizing how much money they made. And I'm just like, man, I got to do something different. So I was informed that I needed to go back to school and get my bachelor's degree to pursue that job field. So that's exactly what I did. I started working night shifts in labor and delivery, doing C-sections. That way I could go to school during the day. So I was really just grinding it out for like another year or two, man, just trying to get that done. So I got still scrubbing, but nothing was really working out. And then as you know, here comes the age of 25.
Man.
You know what I mean? And I ended up having a heart attack one night.
Crazy, I remember that moment.
That was my moment in life where it's like, I wasn't out here doing nothing bad. Like, I ain't no thug or nothing like that. I ain't out here stealing, robbing.
But you is from East Washington.
I am from Washington now. Shout out to the hood, you know what I mean? But good upbringing, good people down there.
But, facts.
You know, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. Like, you feel like you're living your life right, but are you living it right for you, or are you living it right by God?
And that's
and at the end of the day, stuff like that, He will put situations in your life to bring you back to Him.
Exactly.
If you get away from it, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one that's gonna sit here and say like, you need to just be straight by the book all the time, because obviously that's just not the case. Who is exactly? Nobody's perfect, but when you draw away from Him, you gotta put Him at the head of your life. You know what I mean?
You're gonna find some difficulty too.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna find some difficulty.
Look, God gonna snatch you up.
Yeah, He gonna let you know.
Playing with Him.
Whoa.
Keep on playing, but you know it's crazy, right? Because we always think about money in these careers.
Facts, we do.
But it's interesting because I think that job set me up to show me that it's not always about money. You also got to think about the balance between your income and your quality of life.
Quality of life. That's a key.
Man, that's key. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm making more money like I wanted to, but I don't have time to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
So what's the point?
What's the point?
You just hoarding money at
What's
that
the point? Like, I'm not enjoying life. I don't enjoy my job all that much. And I'm not getting paid that much to like be missing out on those things. You know what I'm saying? So I started reevaluating, and you know, God came through, blessed me again, you know what I mean? So I ended up being able to transition from that company to another sister company within Johnson & Johnson. So I work for Ethicon now, which is a different medical device company. Quality of life way better. Ended up getting a raise. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then this recent past year and a half, I got another promotion, and now I'm living in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, H-Town. You know what I'm saying? Hard, we miss you. You know what I mean? But anybody out there, just, you know, appreciate your storms. I guess my main thing to leave some people with too is just the fact, like, man, another sermon I heard one time was, we got to stop treating our blessings like burdens.
That's a deep one too.
It's deep, you know what I mean? And that one hit home for me too, because a lot of times, you know, we like, man, hey, we thought adulting was fun. This shit is not,
bro, this shit is not cool at all.
This shit is not all it's cracked up to be. But, you know, at the same time, I always keep that sermon in the back of my mind when I say that.
Yeah.
We got all these bills and shit we got to pay.
What?
All these responsibilities on a day-to-day. But at the end of the day, like, we got to stop treating our blessings like burdens. Like, you paying $500-$600 for that car note, at the end of the day, you got a car, and it's the one you want, obviously, if you're paying that damn much or whatever. You know, hopefully. Some of y'all tripping because y'all be sitting up here being upside down. Quit trading your car
upside down on your car notes.
What you think about it? Like, all these people that just want to keep up with the Joneses and shit, and like do stuff to stunt, and all of that? Because I got two different perspectives on it, but what do you think?
For me, it's kind of so it's a tricky subject. So I understand why people want to keep up because you see your peers. You see your peer. One of your peers may have a Benz. One of your peers may have a Lexus. Maybe driving whatever it is, something fancy, living in a nice apartment, living in a nice house. And you think to yourself, like, I grew up with this person. I grew up beside this person. Went to school with this person.
Yeah.
We went to college together. You know, before they had what they have. It kind of puts it's unknowing peer pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They not necessarily putting that peer pressure on you, but you put that pressure on yourself by looking at your peer and saying, "Hey, I should have that too." When a lot of times people don't realize, wait your time, wait your turn. You know what I'm saying? And I think people get lost in the moment of not wanting to wait their turn. They say, hey, you know, I'm young, I want to have it now. Which, I mean, I understand. Don't nobody want to. You don't want to get a Benz when you're 50, 60. You know what I'm saying? So I get that.
It's
you
time
know
to get a Buick at that point.
At that point, it's time to get. You got to drive a family van. You know, you taking the kids and your grandkids to soccer practice type.
I get
that.
I think, man, I really enjoy the hunger I see in younger people now.
For sure.
But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, right? My hunger was different as far as like I wanted to be successful on like the corporate side first.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I'll look into other avenues of income and different stuff like that. But I think the main difference now is the fact that they want it given to them.
They do. A lot of people do. A lot of people. I know a lot of people our age that feel like they feel entitled. Like I should just be able to have this instead of earn this.
Exactly.
So I get that.
You know, it's kind of crazy, like looking at it all because I've had, you know, been in the Big Brother Big Sister program, just talking to a bunch of people, like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy because like I look at the world and what's happening, and I noticed that I feel like the change came like when social media really took off.
That's
you know
a
what I
big
mean?
one.
Like it's one thing, but when you don't see all of this shit going on,
that's true.
And then it's another when you hear about it. Like, you know, back in the day, we didn't see all this shit.
Nah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, hell, we struggling in the hood. We ain't got cable. We still got dial-up goddamn internet. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like we ain't got no high speed. Yeah, you hear the little phone thing on there. Exactly. So it's just crazy because, like, I noticed as that's taking off, it's giving people access.
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying? To view shit like that. You know what I mean? And it's making them even more hungry.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where it's like, man, the drive is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In young people. And it's kind of crazy because, like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, nor am I saying like social media is a bad thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you use it in the right way, anything can be good. You know what I mean? But I just know, man, people just so hyped up on this shit nowadays to the point where it's like that's all they think about. Hell, people can't even have conversations like they used to just because I rather text.
I get that. Boy.
Hit me up on the gram. Hit me up, you know what I'm saying? Snapchat, all this other little like platforms and shit. And it's just like,
facts.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if it's just me or not, but shit, growing up watching Love Jones and all this other, the good movies, you know, the good black movies.
Brown Sugar,
all that shit. Like when did you fall in love with hip hop type shit? You know what I mean? Like, and you know, I don't know if it's on no like fairy tale shit or not, but it be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like even the dating world is different.
I mean,
you know what I mean? And
I think social media has played a big part in ruining that because social media has taken the aspect of, because you know, the first part of it is you used to, kind of like you said earlier, you used to not be able to see people and, you know, just be there. They wasn't as accessible. Now you can go on Instagram and see somebody that's across the world, instantly DM them, and you might get to chop it up with them. And if you say you headed to Italy or something, I'm finna pull up on you. I'm finna pull up out there. So what's up? Can we link? That easy. Whereas you ain't had that access at first.
Bro, it's crazy. And then, you know, another thing, people can be whoever the hell they want to be.
Boy, people
on social media,
man, you a whole nother person. You a whole nother person.
Shit is crazy. That, you know, you come off a certain way. Online, you damn near create this fan base for your damn self.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, because then you get in front of these people, they might be the shyest person in the room, but on social media, they boastful, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, damn, like, I thought you was totally different, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't know, bro, it's just crazy to think about the shit like that, because it's like, damn, like, would you say social media has really ruined things, or has it made it better, or is it just, you know, different from situation to situation with different people and how they use their platform?
So with that, it's a two-part answer, because I think it has its good and its bad. With anything, if you drink too much water, like Denzel Washington said, you'll drown. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But water is essential to life. So I feel like with social media, it's one of those things that social media, yeah, some people fake it on the ground, but they end up making it off of faking it. If that makes sense. They fake their lifestyle and end up getting sponsorships, getting partnerships, and different things like that by growing their fan base. But at the same time, it's bad because you may be putting all your efforts toward faking it and end up losing yourself in social media, becoming something that you didn't think you was gonna become, or becoming something people don't really mess with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I say, man, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
If you could tell somebody, a young person, something that you feel like would be helpful, just one thing, what would that one thing be to help them, whether it be, you know, career-wise, love-wise, relationships-wise, whatever? What would it be?
Man, that's tough, but probably, man, honestly, just be themselves and always have a plan. I don't give a damn what it is. Like, if it's school, have a plan. If it's work, have a plan. If it's just your life in general, have a plan. If it's dating, have a plan. You know what I mean? And execute it. Like, and that's the beautiful thing about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my motto is always have a plan, execute it, and then shit, get another plan. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say just stick to one thing and be set on one thing, but it's just saying, like, go on and knock that shit out.
Got to.
Do your shit, knock it out, get it over with. You can kind of, you know, get a good gauge on whether or not that's something you love to do, something you like to do, something you want to keep on doing. And guess what? If it's not, just make another plan and do something else. But at the end of the day, you got that. It does two things, I feel like, right? You made a plan, you did it, so you executed it, and now you have an idea to go off of.
True.
So it's not like you started something, you didn't finish, now you never really know how that shit gonna work out.
That's true.
Or if you ever was gonna really like it or enjoy it like you thought you was. Now that's always gonna be in the back of your mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of shit is about, like, you know what I'm saying, setting yourself up to clear your mind. Like, you know, peace of mind is very expensive.
Boy, what?
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so it's
deep.
like,
I like
it's
that.
one of them things, like, shit, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta, like, do shit to, like, you know, help yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bunch of shit that I slept on for a long time, and I'm like, I want to do that, but I ain't do it. But you know what I'm saying? I wonder if, you know what I mean? Like, get all the wonder ifs out of your mind and shit. Like, so, like, get a plan and just execute it, and then shit, keep on planning. Like, you know what I mean? Life a long goddamn time. Hopefully a lot of people get complacent in the shit that they do, and then they start half-stepping on shit. And it's like, you gotta kind of have that same hunger as you did when you started. When we start up some shit, or just, you can't sit there and pray for stuff. When you get it, you just, all right, I got it. You know what I mean? And then you get complacent, you stop being appreciative of your own journey. And I think that's one thing that really, like, you know what I'm saying, like, is a downfall for a lot of us. Like, like, that's one thing I hate. Like, I was working with a guy, he was supposed to be in the housing market type of shit, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool, he a brother, like, I want to support him.
Yeah, you got it.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, exactly, because, you know, I'm looking to buy a house soon and shit like that. So it's like crazy. Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of crazy because when I found one that I liked, I have to call you for, like, this is your part. Like, this is your goddamn job. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I ain't hear from that man for 2 days. Cause he out kicking it and shit.
Yeah, but that, you know, that it's kind of like you said, don't half-ass it, but some people do.
Half-assing it, and then it's sad because, like, you know, I lost the house I wanted because of you, damn near. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of those things. I'm just like, I gotta fire you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and then it's crazy because, not saying that I specifically went out after that and tried to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, find a white person. Yeah. I didn't do that shit, but at the end of the day, like, I got set up with a white person, and guess what? They bout their business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hate, like, I don't try to put color in on everything.
Right.
It's the fact that I do want to support, you know what I'm saying, black businesses, black-owned businesses and shit. But it's just like, I hate it when, and this ain't no call out to say, oh, like, you know what I'm saying, one black person make a mistake and they, you know, they business and you just, you know, deem them like, you know, unfuckwittable.
Right.
And it ain't really that. It's just the fact that, like, I hate seeing the shit. Like, like, bro, don't have step on nobody, especially a brother who coming to support you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
we got to look out for ourselves, but I can't look out for you on my end, and you not even looking out for me or you. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, bro, you can't sit there and set that expectation that black people should support you when you gonna half-ass do the job that you said you gonna do to get yourself up. Like, I'm gonna lift you up, I'm gonna pick you up. And like, you know, the brother, we talked and I told him, like, before I fired him, like, bro, like, man, I ain't gonna lie, like, I ain't really like this, that, and the other. And it's like, also, like, how you gonna tell me A, B, and C?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn it. I'm about to fire your goddamn ass. Like, if I emphasize that shit to you, and the shit that you like bring back to me is defensive. Yeah. When you was the one half-assing shit, I gotta fire you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't fuck with that. Like, cause it's just like, he like, well, it's always gotta be a well if blah blah blah. Like, as soon as you start with that, I already know you finna go towards some bullshit.
You're not even trying to listen.
But no, cause if you gonna well if me, well you fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, it is what it is. I tried.
And he said, like, well, you fired.
Well, shit, cause bro, as soon as that started, you know ain't nothing coming. Well, if you would have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then maybe so and so.
And to be honest, in situations like that, it's like, bro, I hired you for a certain. You don't work for me, but you work for me because I hired you.
This your job.
This is your job.
This your job. True. You picked that shit.
I didn't tell you to be.
I didn't tell you to go to college for this shit or school or whatever fuck training.
You did, yeah.
I didn't tell you to do that shit at the end of the day, but I'm trying to fuck with you just off the strength of I want to put I want the black dollar.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
You wanted to grow.
Man, you can't be sitting up there half stepping on the shit that you put you set up for yourself.
Nah, that's
like, and that's not just a business. That's with anything. Like, if you're gonna do school, if you're gonna do military, hell, I don't give a damn if you share. Like, even with my job, like, I can't have stuff because that's the thing. Like, when we get in these jobs where it's predominantly white,
and most of them are,
especially the good ones.
If they corporate America,
especially the good ones. And the thing is, like, we already got strikes against us.
Boy,
the expectation is almost that when we come in, they're not gonna be as good.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's crazy because it's like, I don't want that call out to be the reason I go hard.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go hard for myself. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where, like, you gotta make sure you going hard because they already got 2 strikes against you.
Yeah, facts.
You walked in the door with issues already. You ain't even done shit.
And
at the end of the day,
just for being black.
Just for being black, you black. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he probably not gonna be as good as so and so.
He probably gonna
He's
be
not gonna be as good
lazy.
as Hunter.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? Adam. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And it's just like, like, we gotta dead all that shit. Like, if you gonna do some shit, man, go up in there and kill that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you get
be
that
confident, learn the shit you need to learn, and do your shit. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, everybody ain't perfect. You gonna have slip ups along the way, and it take time to get good. But practice getting good. That's the main
real.
thing. Practice getting good. Make a plan to get. That's what I say. Make a plan to get good at your shit, and be a expert in your craft. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, can't nobody tell you shit.
That's deep, my brother. I really liked it. So with that being said, I wanna end it on that note pretty much. Make a plan. The one thing, like you said, when it comes to making a plan, that has been, I think, your motto for everything. Your motto is always, because anytime, hell, when I told you I was gonna start this podcast or vlogcast, because you know it's gonna be some other stuff that come along with it. You always, somebody tell you something, you gonna always ask them, so did you get your equipment yet? Did you think about your fan base? Did you think about what stuff you gonna talk about? Did you think about who you gonna have on there? You ask these things because you're about somebody having a plan. You're about
planning stuff out so you don't fall short of what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the quote says, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You know what I'm saying?
That is perfect.
And it's crazy though, because you know, I feel like it's a difference too, like in saying you gonna fail, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not maybe that you gonna fail, it's you gonna like encounter a lot more issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Which I ain't saying that's a necessarily bad thing. It's just the fact that, like, obviously experience is the best teacher. So like when you start, if you make a mistake, you learn from it. Like at the end of the day, that's a good thing.
That's
you know
a
what
good
I'm saying?
thing.
But it's one of those things where it's like, just map that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like map it out a little better, or even if you get into it, just start learning more about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, never quit learning. So
knowledge is power.
Knowledge is, man. So hey, I appreciate you doing this, bro. It's gonna be lit. I know you got a lot more episodes to come.
For sure, for sure.
A lot of good topics we done sat down and talked about. This is just the first one. It's kind of like a, you know, getting to know you type thing. So I guess for me, in reverse.
Okay.
What would you leave somebody with?
I would leave somebody with the circle you keep. It's something you touched on earlier. The circle you keep can guide you to a higher place. If you around a bunch of people who not doing shit, who bums, and I'm not gonna just say bums, but just drag their feet on everything, then you're gonna drag your feet on everything. If you around people who don't push you, who don't have plan set for themselves, you're not gonna have a plan set for yourself. So I think I would leave people with make sure the people around you are moving forward, they striving to be better versions of themselves. And that's why I always, like I said, I always looked up to you in life, because I'm like, man, my brother Joe, he always like trying to figure out how can he get better and stuff. And that made me think to myself, all right, he getting better. What can I do to better myself? You know what I'm saying?
That's love.
I think about John too. So, he in CRNA school, about to finish that. And that made me think like, dude finna be making hella money. Shit, I need to figure out what I need to do to make more money myself. And it ain't just about making more money, but how can I better myself?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
And shit, I think you doing it, man. Like, hell, you got a new job. You done moved to Dallas.
Hey,
Look where we sitting at. Hey, this nigga got a nice ass spot. Y'all see these goddamn, look at this goddamn flames in the back and shit. Like, the ambiance in this motherfucker is hella dope. But
it's hella nice.
But a lot of people sit in their blessings too and don't realize it.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, you sitting in one right now. Like,
and I try to take it in.
Exactly. We shooting this. This gonna be the first episode. Of many. You know what I'm saying? So like, we sitting in a blessing right now.
For sure.
Shit, it's all love to everybody out there, man. But yeah, y'all definitely need to come on the podcast, man. Just share your views on life. You know what I'm saying? Other people can definitely grasp to it and, you know what I'm saying, learn from it. So, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, and I guess that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Hey, appreciate it. I think it's time to go turn up and stuff.
Oh, got to.
All right, let's do what we do.
Hey. Once again.